who also had a great Regional 1.
Yeah, this, I think, I'm also leaning the way of Top Blokes. I've been a big ambassador of theirs since I saw them play. They've just been such a fun team. Archie, I cannot get enough of that absolute genius on the pitch. The last time these two played was back in Stage 1 of Regional 1, and it did go 3-0 for Top Blokes. Singularity weren't able to get a single game against them, and Top Blokes, of course, finishing second place behind only BDS in the last Regional. They've had an amazing run, and Fadeaway recently the only team that they shouldn't have lost against, I feel. But that's the most recent result. Is that the form they're on today? Singularity, they better be hoping so.
Yeah, and I think Breezy wants another look at that shot that he had a moment ago. Open net, one defender, and he ends up just smacking it straight down the center right into the car. Gives them a free save. That should have been a 1-0 start there for Singularity.
Yeah, Singularity are going to need to come out of this one hot. They need to show that they are the team that will be able to push Top Blokes out of their comfort zone. Top Blokes like to be an uber-aggressive squad. They like to pass a lot. They like to outscore, be quicker. But Breezy looking to be faster than anybody on Top Blokes for the first goal of the series.
Bit of a double commit there with Archie and Flame on that sidewall. Archie was trying to rotate back, but Cassio overcommits as the third man comes up, leaves a huge opening. Ball pops up into the middle. That's an easy touch for anybody on the pitch. Breezy's definitely going to finish it.
Now from the backboards, Miller taking it to the left-hand side, but nearly counted out by Flame. It does go central and blocked by Breezy. Hibbs now with a chance. Their newest addition to the roster has made a fantastic impact on this team as well. There was a big off-season for the Singularity lads. Gods Miller got unbenched. As he was very happy to see in the Twitter picture that was posted alongside that. So yeah, Singularity have had a big couple of weeks behind them, big couple of months in fact, looking to hopefully make it further than they did in Regional 1 and make it through to playoffs this time. But Stage 1, where everything begins.
That was a great touch from Breezy there. Unfortunately, just straight down, wasn't able to be read by Gutsmilla. He wasn't able to get that final touch. Breezy, though, he's going to bring this one out. Oof. Nice pinch. Flame there, gets the easy read, bangs it out into the midfield. But Cassio with a whiff. And those are things that kind of make you worry. That's not something we would have seen. Flame, though, he's not going to miss it. He'll pick up. It'll all turn out all right as he goes ahead and sets it up to himself. I wanted to sit there and say that something's going wrong, but in true casting fashion, the moment that I want to say something is going to go one way, disasters turn into fortunate events, and Flame puts one in, ties the series up so far, 1-1.
You'll never be as bad as Cole with his vert cam call, so don't worry about that.
Ibs! Free shot. 100% can't be that bad.
No, never.
As proven here, he's not only on the endpoint stream, also if he brings it up inside of an RLCS match, they go from a 2-1 lead to the second he says it, goal scored on him, 2-2 tie, and then end up giving up the match. Flame, quick goal back down. He's going to get his second, and we're tied 2-2. This one's just kind of a back and forth on, other than Flame shot down, it's been a whole lot of open nets.
Yeah, both teams giving up opportunities left, right, and centre. I mean, 2-2 now with half the game gone almost. Neither team looking like they are going to be suffocating the other. I definitely thought Top Blokes would have suffocated by this point. Or sorry, rather done the suffocating. But Singularity, they seem to be holding their own as often as they can. Breezy looking to go for the demo there on the goalkeeper. Cassio can grab that back mid boost, but will be taken out of the game by Breezy. Lots and lots of aggression. Flame delivers one back.
Yeah, Breezy trying to do a vert there. I almost thought vert was on the field. There was 3 demos way too quickly for vert to not have been involved in some way. He willed it somehow, some way. He was involved.
Miller, chance, takes it to the left-hand side, but cut out by Flame. Takes it far, Breezy will catch. Can take it down versus Archie. One of the best 1v1 players in the UK is Archie. Had a decent run in Salt Mine too. Couldn't end up winning the event as there is a gigantic amount of talent in the EU/Middle Eastern 1v1 scene. Archie is a little fish in a gigantic pond in that regard.
A little bit of mid there. Hibbs going to get it past Archie, bringing it down. Flame challenges that ball, but pops into the middle. Archie going to win that midfield battle, and Godsmilla tries to bring it down, wins it back from Cassio, brings it out across another, can't get it past Flame though, and that's going to slow this play back down, allowing Top Blokes to get back and get into a defensive rotation again.
Yeah, much more midfield focus now. Around the middle of the game, we've gone from end-to-end play at the start into this solo, but now Hibbs wants to go for that solo play. Miller can get it central. Breezy with the shot, goes high. Archie low on boost in net, and the 50 underneath is saved by Flame on the goal line. Lots and lots of pressure coming out for the Singularity lads. Hibbs now back over to Breezy. That is relatively open, but Cassio can get back in time. Sends it to the right-hand side, but Smiller there to intercept. Breezy up from the touch. All three players for Top Blokes need to try and save that one.
Yeah, everybody able to get there, and we're finally starting to see some speed and aggression coming out. We were expecting it to be Top Blokes, but really the speed's coming from Team Singularity here as we get out of that kind of feeler start to the match. Typically, game ones have those moments. It went a little longer than expected as it got down to the final minute before we started seeing this aggression, but time ticking down now. Godsmilla gonna find it over the top of Cassio. In the final moments, still a little bit of time left on the clock here. The door is open, but just ever so slightly.
Flame wanting to get that double touch off the wall and isn't quite able to reach it. Smiller, though, great positioning. Banked on the fact he would miss. 4 seconds left. What have you got to lose? Top Blokes now might lose this game after that mistake. Flame, though, is going to try and keep it far. Hibbs, though, completely shuts down that play. Singularity taking game number 1 in a shocking final end of the game fashion.
Yeah, final moments gonna make it happen. Breezy being that offensive attack for Team Singularity. 6 shots, out shooting all of Top Blokes combined by himself. Only nets 1 goal, but the pressure that you're gonna create over time is gonna open those up and create opportunities. Godsmilla and Hibbs able to pick up 1 apiece as well. And really didn't have to do much on the defensive side since it was only 5 shots. There really wasn't too many shots on net after those opening 2 goals. There was no threat on their end of the field.
Cassio looking very quiet in that match. Only had 1 shot, no goals, no assists, and 2 saves. Didn't look like he was as integral to the game as he normally is, and maybe that is one of the reasons why Top Blokes did end up falling. But Flame, great job, top of the scoreboard. 2 goals to his name. Now, looking to have all 3 players involved in game number 2. Both these teams sitting at 1-1 in our Swiss format thus far. Top Blokes, I don't imagine, expected to see themselves losing a match that early on as well to Fadeaway, who were a side that just had their number at every turn. And Shogun and Johnny were saying Top Blokes struggled to deal with any kind of ingenuity to work their way out of a play style that they weren't used to playing in.
Yeah, and Fadeaway is playing a really solid games today. They took Dignitas to 5 to take the W over them, and then got that 3-0 here over Top Blokes. They were really on. They were hitting shots. So as much as I would have expected Top Blokes to be able to deal with Fadeaway, Fadeaway's playing hot today.
Flame hoping to live up to his namesake and play hot himself as Smiller sends it down that right-hand wing. Archie I thought would catch, but instead sends it high for the ceiling pass. Still a very underutilized way of passing, but Cassio from the backboard. Smiller missed that before, and previously it led to a Flame goal. This time, though, Breezy saves him.
Archie giving all the respect to the defense, expecting that one to get touched. Bad touch there from Godsmilla. Almost turns into a goal, but defense is able to hold strong there. Archie with a good read as he brings this one down. Going to try and bring it himself off the wall. Midfield battle won once again here by Top Blokes as Flame trying to get up, get in the way of Hibbs. Going to turn off. And still going the way of Top Blokes as Archie tries to bang one through the corner.
Good pass. Goes low. Flame can't connect on it as Hibbs will clear it away. Now Cassio on that left-hand wing. Again, Godsmiller getting a defensive touch. The double tap thwarted by Hibbs on the backboard too. Smiller the only man up for that as Archie will end up leaving. Can Cassio get any other touches? Not really.
I did like that approach from Archie, and I think I've seen him do it twice now, where he comes in, he's trying to do that self-pass off the back wall to get the double touch, and he's aiming for the back of that other player. You see players try and either get it out in front of them or try to beat the defense. He does a really good job of targeting just right behind you, making it a real pain to get back and make the touch. Defense holding strong there for a moment. Cassio able to get back real quick, clear that out, and that's going to buy Top Blokes some time to get comfortable.
There's the reason why Archie is such a revered player, or becoming that revered player in EU. He is absolutely wonderful. Absolutely. Ooh. He shanks that shot a little bit, but I mean, it's the caster curse, as ever, as we spoke about earlier. But Archie is really one of those players that I love watching. He is adept at solo plays, but will happily send it off to a teammate if that's the better option. And he is a younger player, so he's able to take on guidance very well. He is not yet stuck in his ways, despite the fact that his ways are some of the best ways that we've seen come out of Europe recently.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to complain if he was kind of stuck in his ways, because right now it is working for him. And I do believe that, as I was saying, where he tries to set it to himself, he puts it behind. It's not even necessarily his abilities to get in and do crazy solo plays in the sense of flip resets and those types of mechanics. It's just raw aim. Archie gonna find the shot off the miss from Cassio, turns that into a goal. And again, right here, lines up, easy read, sees Hibbs, puts it out wide left. Cassio comes in to also add a little pressure on Hibbs, but Archie, placement is really what I love from him. His placement of the ball is pristine.
Really smooth passing play from the back there as well. Flame from his own backboard managed to find Cassio, which then set up that entire transition. And every player on Top Blokes there doing what they needed to do. They knew their roles and they did them perfectly. Cassio missing towards the back. Archie picks up the 100, but intercepted by Godsmiller. Cassio now sending it down that left-hand wing, but again intercepted in the mid by a Singularity player.
It's going to try and bring that one out. Able to beat Cassio to that. It's going to keep it alive. Pinch down. Defense able to get the read before Godsmiller can get on the ball. Bumps him into it. Almost turns it into an own goal. Breezy able to get a little bit of a panic turnaround off the back wall save there. Cassio almost stuffs him. A lot of pressure here coming from Top Blokes. And they're even using the defense of Singularity to create some of these shots.
Godsmiller's been weak with those touches from the backboard, but has managed to clear it away this time. Hibbs can secure that back right boost. Miller on his own in net, gets dunked by Archie. The pressure will continue for Top Blokes. 30 seconds and they have the lead. Flame with a shot on target as Archie sends Godsmiller flying over, and he does not have the boost to continue with that play. Now, can Smiller keep the pressure on? Yes, he can. Flame on his own will send it low, and Breezy can read it. Lots and lots of interceptions here by Singularity, but none of them paying off.
Yeah, they're not really able to transition it into shots on net. Only 2 so far throughout this game, and we're coming down to the final 10 seconds here. We look at the other side, 17 shots from Top Blokes. 17-2. This stat line being 1-0 is ludicrous. This is not what this should be, and I'm wondering if that is indicative of some issues on Top Blokes versus what we saw in the previous regional. They were converting time and time again in the last regional. It seems like they're having trouble finding home on these shots and getting these shots in net. That seems to be the issue. But the defense of Singularity also, 6 saves from Godsmilla, 5 from Hibbs, and 3 from Breezy. They've just been there for everything.
Yeah, it ended up being 14 saves to, I think, 19 shots in the end, which is ridiculous when you just go with those raw numbers. And then when you consider the fact it was a 1-0, it leaves something to be to the imagination of, well, why were those shots from Top Blokes not a bit more convincing? And it doesn't matter though, they still got the win. 1-0 does end up doing it for them. Now we are drawn going into game number 3. First 1-3 will be going through at the 2-1 win rate. My money is still on Top Blokes here. I think they had a little bit of a weak showing in that first game and were caught off guard towards the end of the match. But Archie, he's looked a bit more confident. You were saying about his accuracy and how well he's able to create opportunities. We started to see that shine somewhat going into the final half of game number 2.
Yeah, and the offense on top Blokes is starting to come alive, and really the midfield is where they're shining. They're not allowing the ball to get down and threatening opportunities to come at their net. They held them to 2 shots on net that entire match. So that tells me that they're winning the boost battle, they're winning the midfield battle, and if Singularity can't get out to create opportunities, I definitely see this one going the side of top Blokes if things continue the way they're going.
Archie manages to flick it over Hibbs, but Godsmiller, the backboard beast that he seems to have become in this match, where I feel like it's literally only him who has been on the backboard. Breezy, with that touch though, over the top of the keeper. Hibbs sends it to him, and Breezy adds a little bit of magic.
Yeah, beautiful touch there. Flame trying to get that read, realizes that he's not going to be able to get it. It looks like they were both kind of having to battle, and one of them just had to make the call that they were going to go for the ball. Neither one of them, though, I don't think even if Flame came in that he would have had an opportunity. That one placed perfectly from a ridiculous angle on a very, very hard shot to pull off.
Now 90 seconds approached being passed in this match, and Singularity do take the lead off that fantastic shot by Breezy. Shot on target again. Godsmiller left at the back and will wisely take it to the left-hand edge, as Archie did challenge him, and keeping that pressure on. 0 boost though now, as the top bloke lads start to move it down the pitch. Archie with an attempt for himself to gently tip it over the top. If you can do something, Singularity, Archie will like to think that he can do it better.
It looked very Breezy-esque there. A little bit higher angle, a little bit tougher shot, so he definitely was going for the anything you can do, I can do better moment. And Godsmiller just going to send it right down the gut, punches it in their face. 2-0 Singularity, and they are turning things around. Offense starting to come alive, and they're starting to cut off those midfield passes and lanes.
Threading that shot as well between Cassio and Flame meant that neither player was in a comfortable position enough to go for it confidently. Great placement by Godsmiller, and secures his team the lead. And again, that man in defense. I've said how often that we seem to find him on the backboard, whether he's the most comfortable player there, but I mean, every player should be at this point, but he's the man with the most presence, and he was having a few missed plays in game number 1. They still won it, but it was less opportune than he would have liked. So good to see that Godsmiller is turning it back on, even if Cassio is attempting to turn him back off again.
Oh, just off. They had an open net situation there, but kind of a tough read, not able to get any speed on the ball. Allows Singularity to get back and get that touch. That was one of those moments where you created an opportunity that you got to capitalize on.
Archie, right-hand side, can get in the way of Godsmiller, but now only 11 boosts, so Flame will have to take over, and take over he does! But Breezy from that goal line can keep the advantage in favor of Singularity. Archie now trying to touch from his own net, hits it at the ramp, and Flame attempts to clear to Cassio again. Lots and lots of clears. 4 top blows. Sorry, I was just a little bit like, Archie, you going to go for that ball? And then he went for it, and he still missed.
It was one of those ones that was super questionable. I thought it was going in. It did end up catching the woodwork there. And Archie, last second, then thought that it was going in. He thought for sure it was missing at first. He just kind of held his ground and then had that panic moment. And in his panic, ends up whiffing. Not going to whiff this off the backboard, though. Going to beat Breezy as well. Gets it down to the midfield, but Godsmiller going to try and bring that one back. Archie, a little bit of a scary touch there. Tries to put one on net. Breezy, the man back for Singularity as he breaks that one up.
Really great transitions out of defense for top blokes. Every time Flame was attempting to find one of his teammates. And typically Cassio is the man that's more adventurous and is happy to move up the pitch even when it looks a little bit shaky. So Flame has always got that target man. It just opens up your defense opportunities even more if you know that you have got a man up there that you can just punt it towards and they could make something happen. We've had a goal or two from it so far, so they can probably get more.
I 100% agree with that. The thing I'd like to see change, though, is they're sending them out and taking quick shots, but Breezy or Godsmilla's been back every time. Terrible touch there. Godsmilla going to punish that. Sets that goal up easily for him. 3-0, and that's probably it for this game, as it's going to go the way of Singularity. But you made a great point. they're getting it out, they're hitting somebody on the sidewall, they're getting quick transitions, but that person on the sidewall has only one guy downfield that he needs to go up against. They could push down, get a 2v1, create some opportunities, isolate that player that's back. Instead, they're trying to hit these banger quick shots down, and there's somebody back to clear it out. So it ends up just turning back into a ball down on the other end, where Singularity, time and time again through this game, have found home.
Man, running rings around the defense as well while they secure their 4th goal. Singularity sending it back and forth, Hibbs to Breezy, and then finally the back of the net. Under 30 seconds left now, looking like we will not be seeing a top blokes come back in this match. And so Singularity move on to series point. But, I mean, a comment that we can make about the defensive passes is we saw that 3rd goal be a victim of a failed defensive pass because Cassio, good touch, Hibbs, makes it 5. Cassio sends it out of... Yeah, of course he does, naturally. It's Hibbs, come on. Yeah, Cassio was waiting for the hit from Flame that never ended up coming. And Cassio moved up after Archie was demoed, or as Archie was demoed. So suddenly, there's nobody actually able to defend the net, and Godsmiller is able to just sit there and get the 3rd, which eventually leads to 2 more goals past that fact. So it's a risky way of passing out of defense if you do not have the manpower to sustain your presence at the back, which sometimes top blokes are letting slip. Singularity do definitely seem to have identified that as well.
Yeah, I love teams that are able to find that time and time again. We were watching... who was it? Mitane and Ixo do it a ton yesterday. They were really, really successful in that. But it does. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. It opens you up to situations where you only have 2 back because you're committing that 3rd guy forward to create that opportunity. So now if something goes wrong on the back line, it is a much worse situation for you. So yes, I like it, but you do see what happens when it goes wrong, and it doesn't seem like top blokes were able to get anything going that match. After we watched them take 17 shots, everything in the world went their way in the previous game. Since then, throughout this one, it was a bit rough to watch. A lot of missed touches, creating a lot of free goals for Singularity. And then, of course, Singularity also running rings around them when they needed to and creating opportunities. So nothing really going the way of top blokes there in that game. But coming into match number 3, 1-1 currently. And see which team can start getting the breakaway. Game 3, usually that one where you start seeing the swing come and which team was able to adjust better.
Yeah, the game number 3 obviously going in the end the way of Singularity. It was the biggest show we've seen from either team thus far. And now they find themselves, like we were saying, on series point. 2-1. Archie in their back right corner does not have a huge amount of boost, but can still send it far. Now Godsmiller to Breezy on the ceiling, down towards Hibbs. Shot potential up. Can he score that? That will be gorgeous if he does, but no. The passing play for goal number 4 has set Singularity aflame.
Hibbs going to bomb that one out. Flame's going to easily pick that up, sends it right back, and might actually end up coming down to win the challenge against Godsmilla. Archie and Cassie, a little bit of miscommunication. Cassie smartly turns off. Archie looking to dunk it in. Hibbs in the way, able to get that save. Flame now back. They do always have somebody back. Top blokes usually has someone there. The open net opportunities tend to come off of mistouches for them. It doesn't typically come from a overcommitted 3rd man. Flame almost punches it in. Hibbs able to save that one.
Hibbs has had a few clutch saves so far that has saved the skin of Singularity. He's been sitting on that goal line and rarely awkwardly. Typically, if you're on the goal line, you just happen to end up there and you're not too happy with your positioning. But he's had a good chance to move out and get the touch and make sure that he is composed even in a stressful situation. So Hibbs proving his worth going into this series. Absolutely. Archie trying to demo him out of the air as well. Remove that young man from the pitch, but Archie right at the other end does manage to secure the save. Breezy, not much boost, and Cassio will force his face into it and make that fact known.
Once again, going to make a touch here on that shadow defense. Able to buy time for Godsmilla to get back, who has a tough read. Breezy able to get there just in time to kind of mess up Cassio's shot. Ends up sending it high. And Flame going to bring this one down. Breezy looking for a shot. Can't get any power on it.
Top Blokes, man. I'm not convinced with what I've been seeing so far. They've had one game. It was a close one. It was literally just a 1-0. But it was too many shots for me to be impressed. If that was a clinical 3, 4, 5 shots, maybe I'd be happy. But it was 19 shots, and they got 1 goal out of it. That's a horrific ratio. This is not the Top Blokes that we love.
This is one of those fish stories. Each time we talk about that match, I want it to go higher. So the next time we talk about it, they took 21 shots.
So I thought it was 17, but I looked. It was
it?
7.
Was I wrong?
It was 7 for 2 players, then 5 for another. And you have no idea how many times I did the math in my head to make sure that I didn't correct you incorrectly.
Oh, just correct me. I have no problem. Caster math. I have
I'm an
these
idiot
every single time.
I can't correct people.
We are not the correct pairing. Somebody messed up.
Somebody at Psyonix and just say, get these guys off. Can we get a clever person on this cast? Jeez.
Who let this happen?
My God, they've barely got a GCSE between them. I bet you don't have any GCSEs.
Any what? I don't even know what you're talking about.
That's my point. No A-levels either. It's crazy.
I'm so confused. Like, man, I went to school in America, and I went to school in a district that was like ranked 48th in the country. All right, I'm not the brightest.
Yeah, but no GCSEs to your name, mate. That's all that matters in England.
Oh, up and over. Sneaks it in is Flame. Thought that one was getting broken up in the midfield for sure. Didn't seem to be like that threatening of a shot.
The fake from Archie.
Oh.
A man who is probably currently earning his GCSEs, as they are a certificate that you get in the UK through your typical education. So that's probably why you don't have any. That makes more sense now. But Archie, decent fake. Ends up getting the goal in for Flame. Throws off the defender completely.
Breezy trying to throw it forward, looking for Godsmilla. A little too far off the wall, which is going to open that up to the defense to get back. Flame with a nice touch down to Cassio, who has to send it wide as he's challenged for the ball, but he wins that one in the corner, sets one up. Nobody there expecting that, so no one to follow it up, and Breezy able to save it away. Everybody back on Singularity, time and time again right now. They have 3 back, which is really making that second and third man hesitant on the side of Top Blokes. Breezy gonna knock away that shot as Flame is in his face, and Godsmilla now trying to bring this one out. Archie there to break it up, Flame to throw it high, and Breezy gonna boom this one back down.
Final 20 seconds now. Singularity were on the cusp of winning this series in this match, but that 1 goal from Top Blokes may just be the finisher. Final 10. Hip sends it to the side. Flame with a shot on target. Godsmiller does save it away. Cassino with a shot on. Will secure the winning game number 4 for Top Blokes. And we go to 5. Much further than I think either of us considered Singularity going. And to be honest, they've looked like the better team, I feel, throughout.
I feel like they have. It's just been, it's been the attempts to convert goals. That's really kind of been the issue on the Top Blokes. It's been kind of a weird series. It's not the series I expected. I guess I've just been confused throughout the series, because watching a match go 19 shots, convert to that. This is now
shots.
15, 21, 23 shots in that previous match. We're now looking at 72 here from Top Blokes, and only able to convert 2 of those. So this one actually 2 for 15, if my horrible schooling math is working properly this time. They take a ton of shots. It's just converting. It really is tough to watch and feel like a team is just dominating in possession and dominating in control of the pitch, not be able to turn it in.
I mean, 15 shots, 2 goals. Yet again, a gigantic number of shots to the goal ratio. It's
better than the last one.
Yeah, the last one was really, really bad. Like, genuinely terrible. I mean, I think the issue
that'll
is
screw your season. Your season shooting percentage will get destroyed by a match like that.
It's my worry is that Top Blokes need so many chances to finally get a goal, and yet Singularity are giving it to them. Like, we can zero in on the final number, but we have to consider how they got to that point. Singularity gave them 15 chances to get goals, and they only got 2. That match should have been 8-0. It's really worrying for Top Blokes and Singularity, that single number.
Yeah. And I think that the issue, if focusing on the Top Bloke side of that, is that they do these defensive hit outs and then they take just a quick shot from the midfield, but it's not like they're getting the shot in the opponent's third. They're shooting it from the halfway mark of the pitch. They're at the 50. It's not a shot that you really need to worry about unless you don't have somebody back. So you're just taking shots to take shots, where you see higher end teams that we expect things from, Vitality, etc. That player on the sidewall is going to slow that ball down. They know that the ball's been cleared out of their half. They have one guy downfield that they need to beat, and they're just going to take control of that ball, bring it to the ceiling, pass down, create a shot opportunity for the next guy, and they isolate defenders. You can't just throw the ball at the net and just in hopes over and over and over again, expecting it to just go in. I mean, eventually, I guess if you take 2,900 shots, it's going to go, but you got to put some sort of creativity into the shot. It can't be the same thing time and time again.
I suppose the question is, has it worked before? They got number 2 in regional number 1. They won grid number 4. They've had some fantastic results recently, and if that's the style they're going for, it's the style that they're going for, and maybe it is a quantity over quality type thing. But Hibs proving why. As soon as you get some shots on the goal, not even that many, he's had 3 so far, you can send over both defenders and they get the lead. Singularity.
Such a quick tempo on that pass there. Up immediately for it was Hibs. Gets it in there. Back to Top Blokes for a quick second here. I don't know that we're looking at the same Top Blokes team that we looked at before. Archie was everywhere before. Shots from ridiculous angles, great follow-ups. Archie, though, he can hear me. He can hear me talking right now, and he wants me to shut up. So he's going to go ahead, pass it to himself, gets it just over the reach of Hibs, comes in with a really quick, tough read there, and able to put it on the bar and down in that upper 90. Those are what we're looking for, and even that isn't the Archie-style shot that we were seeing in the last region.
But finally, they do get a goal on the board. Top Blokes now drawn with Singularity as Flame pumps it at the backboard. Archie wanted the shot there, I think, but ran out of boost and does pick up the little pads on his way back to the orange home side of the pitch. Godsmiller up midfield. Cassio can get it to Flame, who cannot tip it over the top of Breezy. Archie doubles it up from that side wall, but Hibs will clear it away. And Hibs looking like an incredibly strong player for Singularity, being absolutely monumental in their performance here today.
This one, Hibs going to try and keep possession for a moment. Gets it over 1, over 2. Flame trying to possess that ball now and bring it forward. Can't get enough of it to cut it in. And Archie with a miss that's going to end up confusing Breezy and turn this into an opportunity for Flame now, who's going to convert it. So, sometimes things go horribly wrong and immediately turn back into something horribly right. Because I still think that it came off of some mistakes there. So I'm going to say it's horribly right, but Flame able to put it in.
I mean, Casto getting the bump on Godsmiller allowed Flame to have such a great opportunity to score, opens it up completely. And now Top Blokes take the lead in this final match of the series. Whoever wins this will be going through to 2-1 win rate, just playing for the chance to get through to stage number 2. Top Blokes making it there before, as did Singularity, but Top Blokes did perform much better. Now Archie from that backboard, Smiller catches it in midfield and does get himself a banned touch, sends it to his own half. Breezy flick, and Archie does not want to be on Reddit today with that. He wants to score a goal himself. That is impossible. I
mean, if you're gonna let somebody do that flick to you, and you're gonna go on Reddit, probably letting the guy it's named after do it to you, probably the right play. I mean, does that look better or worse?
I mean, at least you know that it's original packaging, right?
Yeah, it's new in box.
Yeah.
60 seconds left on the clock.
All right, Hibs going to bring that one out. Gets it over 1. Archie there to break it up. And Godsmilla trying to get a second touch. Has the boost. Can't quite get turned around for it, though. And Flame going to win a 50, has an opportunity to create a pass. Archie up, can't get it under Hibbs. Tough angle. Hibbs with the read all the way through.
Again, Hibbs in defense. He is doing a great job in keeping most shots out. Just a few have got past him. Spiller as well doing a great job on defense, getting away from that backboard, but it does bounce nicely off the ceiling. Casio pinches it ceiling wood, and Archie is there to collect. Breezy moving very far out. Godsmiller had barely landed by the time he had started moving out of the net, and now we see Top Blokes go 2 goals clear.
Under 30 seconds left. Singularity need something quick. The pressure that they're feeling right now, they're going to be feeling it through the entire next series if they can't take this win. Whoever takes the loss here will have their tournament life on the line. All the pressure in the world on their backs. Breezy going to try and bring this one down, trying to get creative. Flame there to cover that hole underneath Casio, though. Archie now taking possession, and this is where the clock ticks down. This one going to go the way of Top Blokes. Singularity, tournament life on the line as they will have to play through on to the next series.
It looked pretty hairy for a minute there. Top Blokes were not in control of that series whatsoever. They managed to secure themselves a 1-0 win, a 2-0 win, and a 3-1 win. Meanwhile, they lost 5-0 in the middle. I mean, Top Blokes typically so adept at taking control of a series, but for whatever reason today, Singularity, they just seem to be able to counter the Top Blokes lads at every opportunity. Is there anything Singularity did there that we weren't anticipating that meant that they could bring Top Blokes to 5?
They just couldn't get the offense going. I mean, they were really getting stuck in their end. Top Blokes, again, were taking a ton of shots, but they were getting 1 or 2 defenders. There was almost 3 defenders in net all the time for Singularity. So there was no outlet play. There was nobody out there to receive a midfield pass for the majority of the entire series. I can't really think of any times where I saw clean passes out where somebody was able to follow that up and create an opportunity. So that is what we saw from Top Blokes. Again, they had some missed touches, which unfortunately turned into some goals on the back end for them in a couple of the matches. But at the end of the day, there was no real threat ever of a counter attack coming out of Singularity. And I think that that's kind of a hole in their gameplay right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward, though, to watching more Top Blokes. They're a team that I've always enjoyed watching. I say always, within the last, 6 months when they've actually been a team. But they've come out, and they have absolutely taken EU Rocket League by storm. But that is not it for the Rocket League today, is it, Supersonic?
No, that is not it. We'll be back here in just a few minutes. If you guys want to get involved, though, in the conversation, FDOT, as always, is reading all the tweets at RL Esports, hashtag RLCSX. And if he likes your tweet, might end up on the stream, might get a little talking point with FDOT himself and whoever's on desk at the time. But that is it for this series, and we'll be back shortly as Group B, in Stacks fashion, rolls on with Solari and Nordaven.